going to be doing some pickled beets. So, washing them off, and then I'm just going to scrub them to get any dirt that might be on them off. And then we'll put them in a pot. I'll bring you back when I get to that point. I've got the beets in 2 separate pots because they're so big I can't get them all in one. The one thing, these were pre-bagged beets. If you're growing them at home or you're getting them fresh out of a garden, when you put them in the pot like this, leave at least 2 inches of the green stalk on top of them, because when they're cut down like these, they're going to bleed out and you lose part of your purple red color in them when they're already, the tops are already cut off. So these do good, they just, you lose a little bit of your color. They're not as vibrant when they're done, but they'll taste just as good. The beets have been cooking for about 40 minutes. I'm getting ready to take them out and put them in some cold water, and then we'll peel them. Some of these are huge. And I'm going to do this and get them in some water, and then I'll show you how to peel them. And you're just going to rub to get the peelings off. Kind of hard to do it with just one hand. And sometimes on these ends they're a little harder to get, where it gets in those little crevices. But I usually trim a little bit of that off anyway. Let's see where we're at. Got a couple little more spots, but I'll get them off. And then I would just trim the top off. You see I've trimmed the top off, got the rest of the skin off, and then if there's any little places that look, you know, dark or a bad spot, just cut those out. And I'm gonna put them into another bowl until we cut them up. And then I'm gonna finish doing these and skinning them. This is the top where the leaves were attached to the beet. That's why it looks darker, where the leaves came out of it. And I'm gonna bring you back when I get all these peeled, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, I've got everything peeled, and I've just kind of sliced them. I'm just gonna cut them. And slice this about like that. beets are all cut up. So I'm gonna get ready to mix up my vinegar, sugar, and water solution. So I need to see how many cups of beets I have. So I'm going to measure them and I'll be right back. We're starting our vinegar mixture. I need 12 cups of water. Okay. 'And our mixture is a 2 to 2 to 2 per 10 cups of beets. And I have 61 cups. Eight. And then I have 12 cups of sugar. So we're going to turn our heat on and bring all this to a boil. Let our sugar dissolve. And stir and mix it all up. And when this gets to a boil, I'll bring you back. Okay, the liquid's boiling, so we're going to add our beets in. And we'll bring it back to a boil. I put them in a little at a time. If you turn them up and pour them all in, you're going to get splashed with the hot vinegar. And I'm going to get the rest of them out, and then I'll bring you right back. All the beets are in the pan now, or the pot, and we're going to let these come back to a boil like the vinegar was, and then we'll put them in our jars. water bath canner. I'm putting hot water in it, and then we're just going to put it up, guys. I want to keep everything hot, so I'm getting it started with some hot water. I'll turn it on low. My jars have hot water in them. I also have a wire rack that you use with water bath canning. And you just put that in the bottom. Okay, I've got my hot beets. I got my lids hot. You don't have to keep them hot right now. This is a lid lifter. Lifts them out of the hot water. Got my hot jars ready to go. So, we've got our funnel on. This helps do your jar. So I'm going to dip them out and pour them in. And this time I'm getting more beets than juice. And I got a few too many. I'm going to scoop some of them out and put them in my next jar. And I'm going to add more water, or not water, but liquid to get here. And then I'm going to debubble. And make sure you get all your little air bubbles out and your line stays the same. We're still where I want to be. So now I'm going to clean my ring. The lid. I'll put my ring on. Get finger tight. And then we're going to set it down in the canner. And I'm going to keep doing that till I have my canner full. I'll do one more for you. Second jar. I'm going to take my debubbler and kind of where it goes down a little bit. And I'll just add a little more of the vinegar solution. I'm on a 1/8 head space on these. Let's just round them a little bit more. And that's where I want to be, right here at this line. We're going to clean it off with our vinegar solution. Not vinegar solution, just white vinegar. Make sure your rims are clean. Get another lid. Put a ring on. Put it tight. And put it in the canner. And I'm going to keep going until I fill the canner up. Here's a little thing I'll show you. This is a regular mouth or small mouth jar. This is a wide mouth or large mouth jar. So you can kind of see the difference in them. So you'll hear people talking about small mouth, large mouth. That's what they're talking about. It's just the different sizes. The opening to this jar is smaller. This one's just wider at the top. Otherwise, they're the same size jar. The canner's full. You want to make sure with water bath canning that you have at least 1 to 2 inches of water above your jars. And we're going to put the lid on. And we're going to let this, once it comes to a boil, we're going to let them boil for 30 minutes. I'll bring you back when they're boiling. My water bath canner's full, so I'm going to use this pot. I'm using the bottom piece from my pressure canner. You can put jar rings in the bottom. If just something, you don't want the jar sitting down on the bottom of the pot or pan that you're using. I'll get this one full with water and I'll show you what it looks like when I get the jars in. And these are loaded. They're sitting on the rack. And I did the same thing in this other little pan. I just took one out of one of my old pressure cookers. Again, they've got at least 2 inches of water over top of them. And I'm going to put the lids on. This one is boiling, so we're going to start our time. This is what I had left. I'm going to take the few beets that are out and probably will eat them tonight. And I'm going to save the rest of this mixture to do some beet pickled eggs. And I'll show you how to do that when I do it. It's been 30 minutes, so I'm turning the off. And we're going to let this set for about 5 minutes, and then I'll take them out of the can. Okay, we're going to take the lid off. And we're going to take these with a jar lifter. Put them on a towel. We'll get them all out and I'll be right back. I'll let him set, cool off. And when they start sealing, you'll hear a little ping. Just gonna let them sit for right now. And the others will be out in just a little bit. So I'll come back when I get them all out of the canner. Okay, they're all out of the canner. I ended up with 6 quarts, 2 1.5 pints, and 14 pints. I had a half a gallon of the vinegar left and not quite a quart left. They're kind of floating a little bit, but I'm going to just put those in the refrigerator and let them sit for about a week, and then we'll eat those. All the jars sealed. Just and then you just want to take your rings off. I'll have to use 2 hands for that one. And then I just wipe my lids off and the jars if it's sticky. These are not sticky. Sometimes you'll get product that comes out during the canning process. But these are good. And then I just take a marker so I'll know when I made it. I usually know what it is, but and I'll do all of them like that, and then I'll put them on the shelf. Thanks for watching, guys.